Chapter 8, Bank Accounts. Assets are anything that can be exchanged for cash, and ideally, you get a higher amount of cash for your assets in the future. By diversifying your assets, or owning a little bit of all 6 asset classes, you can still grow your money without having to pick the hottest stock or newest cryptocurrency. In fact, some financial assets are just mixes of other assets. One asset that is made up of other assets is the index fund. The index fund has dominated retirement plans, investment accounts, and businesses for the last 2 decades. This asset is awesome. When you hear the word index, think of the index in the back of an encyclopedia. An index fund is like a bundle of different financial assets pulled from the Encyclopedia of Finance, if one existed. In other words, an index fund invests a little bit in all asset classes. Here are some things that index funds are made out of: stocks, bonds, commodities, currencies, and real estate. Whether you want to own any of the 6 major asset classes or just shares of an index fund, then you must know about bank accounts. You can divide bank accounts into 4 major types. There are arguably hundreds of categories of bank accounts, but these 4 help us understand all the others. The 4 are checking account, savings account, brokerage account, and retirement account. We will go into detail about each of these 4. Checking accounts are plain vanilla. They are standard. Arguably 100% of all people living in America, not just citizens, can get a free checking account. Checking accounts link to your debit card. They only hold on to cash. You can only make a purchase for as much money as you have in your account. Nothing fancy here. Again, think plain vanilla. Most people use checking accounts and debit cards for paychecks from their job, which accept both paper checks and direct deposit. Savings accounts, on the other hand, hold on to cash you are storing for an important event later in life. If you get a checking account, most banks will also give you a savings account for free. The government determines how many times you can move between savings accounts and checking accounts. Right now, it's 6 times a month. Banks give out checking accounts for free because they want you to set up a savings account. The bank grows wealthier with more savings accounts. Let me explain. Banks use the money from your savings accounts to create loans and other financial products for other people. When you withdraw money from your savings account, you do not get the same physical money you put in. The bank lent out your savings account, made a profit, and then put it back without you realizing. This process of lending out your money to other bank customers without affecting your eventual withdrawal runs the entire world. It's called fractional lending because a fraction of your money is sent out to a lot of other people, and I think this is super cool. To compensate you for using your money to make more money, the bank pays you very little interest that will be deposited into your account each month. Right now, savings accounts pay 0.01% interest on all account balances. So if you had $100 in a savings account, then you would get 1 penny in interest 1 year later. Why is the interest so low in savings accounts? The answer? Cash grows slowly, if at all. Most times, cash becomes less valuable over time. To get your money to grow, you need other bank accounts. We will discuss this topic more during the chapter on inflation and prices. The third bank account are brokerage accounts. Brokerage accounts hold onto securities or assets that can be legally bought and sold across the world. Think of brokerage accounts as checking accounts for legal investments. Brokerage accounts may hold on to index funds. Or brokerage accounts may hold on to cryptocurrencies, real estate interests, Tesla stock, or other variations of the 6 major asset classes. Warning, you often pay taxes on brokerage accounts. Once you become a millionaire, be prepared to pay 20% in capital gains taxes, maybe even higher in the future. Thus, we now reach our 4th and final bank account. This is the retirement account. Retirement accounts hold on to securities, just like brokerage accounts, but you pay little or no taxes as long as you hold them until retirement, which the government defines as age 59 and a half. Don't ask me why the government added in that half sign, but the government generally, across most bank accounts, recognizes the legal age of retirement as 59 and a half. Many retirement accounts grow tax-free. A brokerage account with $5 million would become $4 million with a 20% capital gains tax. But a retirement account with $5 million stays $5 million. As we will discuss in more detail a few chapters from now, the profit from brokerage and retirement accounts are volatile. They change a lot. But over the long term, investments beat cash. You should have some investments and some cash. Investments are for growth and cash for spending. Even though we will discuss this in more detail, right now try to remember this. Investments, brokerage and retirement accounts grow 6% a year on average, and cash, checking and savings accounts, don't really grow at all. A growth of 0.01% a year, a penny for every $100 is not much. We will discuss the magical 6% in a couple chapters. Here's a helpful diagram to help you remember the differences between these four accounts. Here's our blank diagram, and we're going to have two columns. Each account holds on to what, and we're going to ask, when can you touch it? We have our checking, savings, brokerage, and retirement account. Checking accounts hold on to cash, and you can take it out and put it in whenever you want. Savings accounts also hold on to cash, but you can only really take it out 6 times a month at most. Brokerage accounts hold on to securities, which is a legal term for investments. So a brokerage account can only really hold on to legal investments, not scams. You can touch it whenever you want. So you can take those securities, turn them into cash, put them into your checking account whenever you feel like it. Retirement accounts hold on to securities, but you can only touch it at age 59 and a half. All right, go ahead and take your quiz at nicheclinic.org/chapter 8.